CMA Kailash Gandhi, Chairman, PD Committee, WIRC will convey thoughts on souvenir and activities of WIRC.
Good morning, my CMA friends. Member on the dais, our President P. Bhattar sir, Vice President Manas Kumar sir, our past President P.M. Sharma sir, WIRC Chairman Devashish Mitra, my regional council colleague, Ma Kaliwal, Pradeep Ji Desai, A.T. Pawar, Harshad Deshpande, the Chairman of Pimpri Chinchwad Chapter, Ashish, other council, Central Council members of the dais, there is a galaxy of Central Council members here, and all my CMA colleagues. First of all, I would like to say Happy New Year and Makar Sankrant on this occasion. Our institute is having a rich history of 6 decades, and I am happy I am a part of it. As we want to take a lot of technical sessions which would be more focused on the subject matter, I will not speak much, but I will just brief you what we did in last couple of months at WIRC as far as professional development activities are concerned. We have conducted various topics, CEPs and mega event, smaller event, covering XBRL taxonomy and cost auditing standards, GST awareness programs, where we would be playing a very important role, investment and investing in Indian equity market, and so on and so forth. We have also taken all the initiatives taken by the Central Council, like 15 days orientation program, campus placements, members in industry fortnight. All these programs were also taken care or had been executed at WIRC at every level. We have done a very big event on GST where it was inaugurated by Shri Sudhir Srivastav, our IAS Additional Secretary of Finance, and he had assured that we will also play a very important role as a professional for the development of the country. We have also now, hence coming forward, what we have planned is we will cover another good topics like management, cost and management, accounting and auditing, taxation matters like indirect taxation, specifically more emphasis on GST. Leadership skills, we have to build a lot of soft skills among our members. We feel that we are a bit more on the other side, so we have to make ourselves more presentable, more skilled. So we are planning a lot of upskilling programs in time to come. Here I would like to take a opportunity and share a very good quote from Michelangelo. The greater danger for most of us is not that our aim is too high. The greater danger for most of us is not our aim is too high and we miss it, but it is too low and we reach it. Our aims are too low and we reach it and we make ourselves proud. We want to change this. We want to bring ourselves to a different level. We want to aim high. We want to work hard. We want to be together. So I request each and every member to come forward and be a part of this brand building of CMA in time to come. See, this is a collective event. This is a collective effort. It cannot be done by few members on the regional council or few members of the central council. Every member of the institute should be vibrant so that our institute would be called as a vibrant institute. So I request everyone to be a part of it and to take active participation in all the activities of the institute so that we can move forward. I would like to thank I am also happy that we have aligned the regional cost conference theme with the vision of Narendra Modi ji, and that is Digital India. So our regional cost conference theme is completely in line with the government what we are doing, and I think in next 2 days you would be getting lot of technical inputs, and that will help you to build a different India. So with that, I once again thank the Pimpi chapter and all the delegates who have come here, and I hope you will have a good session and you will take home a lot of input which will help you to build your career and build your profession. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. I will invite CMA Ashish Deshmukh to deliver vote of thanks.
I welcome you to lovely city of Pimpri Chinchwad. I am thankful to WRC team for giving us a chance to host RCC here. First of all, I am thankful to MP, Member of Parliament Amar Sabre, for gracing this occasion and inaugurating this session. I am thankful to President of ICAI, our Bhattar sir, our chief guest, then Manas Kumar Thakur, our Vice President ICAI. I am also thankful to Devashish Mitra, Chairman of WRC, and entire WRC team, Pradeep Desai, Vice Chairman WRC, BM Sharma, our former President ICAI. I am thankful to Shriram Mahan Kaliwar, then our Chairman of PD Committee, CMA Kailash Gandhi. Of course, I am thankful to our main patron and treasurer of WRC, LD Pawar, and not least, I am thankful to you all for showing such an overwhelming response to this RCC. Thank you.
Thank you, all dignitaries on the dais. Now we will take a small break of 10 minutes for tea, and then first technical session will be started. Thank you all.
Practicing CMS from industry delegates and students. Welcome to the first technical session of this convention, and subject of this technical session is making India through cost competitiveness. So first part of this session is making India through Chanakya Niti, and second part of this session is cost competitiveness, activity based costing. So now I would like to request the CMA Harshad Deshpande, Regional Council member, to escort to the CMA Vijayendra Sharma, Central Council member, and CMA Narsimha Murthy on dais. Now I would like to request CMA B.L. Sangpal, Chairman Navi Mumbai Chapter, to escort CMA C.S. Adavalkar on dais. Now, I would like to request the CMA Harshad Deshpande, Regional Council member WRC, to introduce to our today's speakers.
Thank you, Pradeep. I take this opportunity to welcome the dignitaries on the dais. We are having session chairman of Mr. Vijayendra Sharma. He is a Central Council member of our institute and a very active member and very much a dynamic personality. He was previously a chairman of NIRC last year. He is basically practicing cost accountant and his specialization area is the cost and management audit and forensic audit. So I welcome you, sir, on this regional dimension. It is indeed a pleasure to welcome a personality like CMA Narasimha Murthy. It's my honor to introduce him. He is associated with the development of cost and management information system for more than 175 companies covering 50 odd industries, 15 different types of industries. In addition to, he is also closely associated with turning around of many large corporates focusing on the systems improvement with the cost reduction approach. He is closely involved with the several national institutes and presently on the board of several Navratra companies also. He is a part of more than 32 high-level committees as a chairman or member or both at national and state level. He is also associated with the development of cost accounting record rules for many industries including banking and telecom. As a member of Informal Advisory Committee, Department of Corporate Affairs, Government of India, recently he is nominated as the chairman of the expert committee on financial Ponzi schemes by the Government of Andhra Pradesh. So we are having a very high speaker and we are very much thankful for him to accepting our invitation and gathering this August event. So we look forward for your speech, sir. I am also happy to introduce our CMA friend, philosopher guide, Sri Aravadkar sir. He is basically a practicing cost accountant and before returning to practice he has more than 15 years of corporate experience with Fortune 500 companies. He is also very nice speaker, a good orator, and he is also the trainer and the faculty at various management and B schools in and around Pune. His specialized field is the activity-based costing, benchmarking, and other management and advisory, and what we call as non-statutory areas of practice. He is having the specialization in basically IaaS systems, including the sophisticated softwares like Oracle and SAP, and he is providing the information, he is providing the guidance and the consultancy to various multinational and large Indian companies in and around Pune on the systems part of the softwares like SAP or BAN or Oracle. So I thank you, sir, for accepting our invitation and we look forward for your session. Thank you.
Now we would like to felicitate to our today's speakers. First of all, I would like to request CMA Harshad Deshpande, Regional Council Member WRC, to felicitate CMA Vijender Sharma with a memento and Tulsi pot. Now I would like to request CMA Varsha Limaye to kindly felicitate to the CMA Narasimha Murthy with memento and Tulsi. Thank you, Varsha madam. Now I would like to request CMA Rajendra Gore sir to kindly felicitate to the CS Aravadkar sir. you, Gauri sir. Now I will hand over the proceedings to the eminent speakers, and it will start with the first topic, that is the first part of this session, Make in India through Chanakya Niti. So, sir, I would like to write this, please.
Respected DJPs and guys, and Endaro Mahatma, great people, how the guys. Good morning to all of you and pranams. At the outset, I am really thrilled to receive Tulasi in the morning. It's really a cool gesture. I have seen for the first time, I think, anywhere else, I have got such type of reception, other than the roses, I compliment the organizers for that. All the best to you. God bless. It's Vishnu Tulasi. The given is Vishnu Tulasi. Like it by Vishnu. So there are two, three types of Tulasi. Yeah. And again, I'm really happy the topic you have chosen, Make in India, cost competitiveness, tax reform, ease of doing business in digital India. The themes are very good. And in fact, I'm really, thank God today that I'm here. Last 2-3 days I was having fever and all that. Though I booked up my ticket, I was keeping fingers crossed. So I can make it out or not, but God has helped us to be here. In fact, many other people ask me, Murthy Garu, you are a cost accountant, why you have written book on South India? So it is I should give the background why it has come. When I was sitting in the TV live show, I was seeing on the TV in the Telugu medium. One professor is sitting from Osmania University, from Hyderabad. Another person has come in a very traditional dress, in a traditional dhoti and with a kondu on the top, shawl on the top, mundi in head. And discussion is going on, some tradition, something is going on. I've observed the professor is ridiculing this person, saying that the British have taught how to wear clothes, how to have haircut. Why are you coming in this dress, He's ridiculing. In fact, I got a shock. As if everything taught to us in the last 400 years by British, he was talking. Then I thought it is time has come for me, to do something on this. Immediately I went online. See, I know all the TV media people, I went immediately online. I told him, look here, you are a professor, respected professor for university, learned professor. You are not supposed to talk like this, ridiculing our culture. Basic self-respect, self-pride are going to be survived. Even the individual, if I talk ridicule your father, grandfather, great-grandfather, your whole self-respect goes off, then you're off. So, no society can survive without self-respect and self-pride. The way today the Western influence has gone, of course, thanks to Lord Macaulay. All this has started with 1835. Many of you must be knowing, February 2nd, 1835, Lord Macaulay. You can go into Google and search what he spoke in the British Parliament. He said, I travelled extensively in India. I saw everywhere rich. I saw there is no beggar. I saw everybody is happy. The ethical values are so strong. He says it's very difficult to break India and conquer India unless we break their basic ethic structure. This is what Lord Macaulay said. From then onwards, they started breaking our ethical values and structure. This still is going on now. Though Lord Macaulay is not there, many of the Lord Macaulays have come into India. They're attacking our culture from different angles, at different times, at different places. That's why still our ethical values are still going on. We are not going to come back. This is the reason why I started the book. In fact, the book is not written overnight. It is taken 1 year. And every Sunday in the leading Telugu newspaper, the articles came on Lord Macaulay. On this South India. And when the articles came, it was a shock to me. It became so popular that I was going in a flight one day. You all must be knowing Mr. Surman Sudhakar Reddy. You know, guess Sudhakar Reddy right now, who took over from, Bardhan as National Level Secretary of CPI. He was sitting in the flight. The moment he saw me, he told me, Murthy, your articles of our Guru are very good. I got a shock. I don't know what I am writing, my articles on CPI Guru, I don't know. I put my face, blank. Since I don't know him also, right here. Then he told me, Kautilya is our Guru. I said, what is it? Then he told Fidel Castro, I think in the year 1953, 16th October, he gave the first speech. History will forgive me. You go to the web, Google and see the speech of Fidel Castro to Cuban, judges. He quotes Kautilya, says, when king doesn't have qualities to rule, 1, 2, 3, 4, the king should have these qualities. If he doesn't have, there's no choice, he can't resort to the king. So revolution has to come. This is what Kautilya brought it. So that's what he quotes. That's why he says Kautilya is Guru for Cuban Fidel Castro, so it's Guru for our CPI. That's what he was telling me. I got a shock. And one more, I'm only warming up to the session, Indira Gandhi said, what is secret behind your foreign affairs? She said, I read Kautilya 20 times. The greatness of Kautilya, he believed good governance is good economics. He believed if a country has to prosper, the country should be full. These two things he believed. So his whole treatise, Arthika Shastra, is full of governance. Then comes the economics. And you'll be shocked to know, when I quoted, Mr. Ashok Navalji said, you must come to Pune. I quoted, the whole principle of costing is there in those days. The costing, trader, manufacturer is given 5% margin on the costing for indigenous goods. For imported goods, 10% margin is allowed to go. Before going to that, one should know how the economy existed 350 years before BC. Very important to know, we all do not know, we all get shocks many times, amazing facts. You know that Kautilya covers how many topics? How many topics? Administration, governance of villages to the central place, agriculture, industry. You will surprise to know Aadhaar card was there in those days. It used to be called passport, identity card for every citizen. Legal system, finance and budgeting, economic surveys. In those days, economic surveys were there. Taxation structure, accounting and budgeting, accounting manual was there. You will be shocked to know accrual accounting is there. Accrual accounting is there in 350 BC. Today, the damage done by great Britishers. Even today, government doesn't want to have accrual accounting. They can't. Why they can't also, I'll tell you. So many committees, I also was a member of one of the committees, when our recent past CAG constituted on getting accrual accounting in the government, they could not succeed. A different reason, I'll tell you why. Once a system is discipline is broken, very difficult to get a discipline. Accrual accounting will force the government to get a discipline. So they don't want. They want all liabilities to be postponed to the next government. So they don't want. So accrual accounting is there. Accounting manuals were there. Beautiful taxation structures were there. Today I am going to cover to the maximum extent. I think 1 hour time is given. Whatever possible I try to cover. Banking and finance system is very strong there. And you have human resource development. So much emphasis was given Takshashila, Nalanda, and the third university, 3 universities were there. Foreign affairs. A major subject in those days is foreign affairs. The beauty of the country, you must think some of the geographically small countries were there. So the small countries, what type of treaties were to be there, how the ambassadors should be there. Very detailed foreign affairs were discussed. Then you have trade and commerce, do's and don'ts for business people, defense. The amount of defense he wrote in the book is enormous defense, including formations. He is a professor in a Takshashila University. 20 years he worked with the Prime Minister, and he goes back after 20 years to teaching profession again. The governance is so high in those days. Simple example, everybody will talk. by evening, one instant is sufficient, he used to live in a small thatched house. The Prime Minister of the country used to live living in a thatched house. When a foreign dignitary comes for discussion, he closes one lamp, after he leaves, he lights another lamp. The dignitary gets a shock. He says, what is this, what are you doing? A sarkari lamp hai, a mera lamp hai, sarkari kaam khatam ho gaya. So there's a level of governance he practiced. And the geography. Many of the people don't know what type of geography the importance was given in those days. Even during Ramayana, you must be aware of the fact, when Sugriva sends the people for searching for Sita, he tells south, these are the rivers you get, these are the trees you get, you have to be cautious with these rivers, these big canals will be there, big talabs will be there, you have to be cautious. East, he describes up to, a Gulf. West, he describes up to Russia, and north, he describes to Russia, like that. Every side, he describes what are all the things there. And south, he describes up to Lanka, So in those days, the geography is there. So you can imagine when it is there around 7,500 years back, 350 years back of BC, was naturally it is bound to be there. A lot of importance was given to geography in the Kautilya Arthashastra, and great is civil code. Do's and don'ts for every character in life. A mother, a father, an uncle, a brother, sister, every role. Wife, husband, every role, do's and don'ts were given. Sometimes I wonder, the way they destroyed the ethical values is so tremendous, I say, horrible, criminal what the British have done. The civil code is totally broken. If the civil code were to be there, the maximum penalties were in terms of not following a right dharma was the maximum command. The same civil code and the same penalty structures of Kautilya were to be followed, today Nirbhaya could not have happened. Something in Assam, some eve teasers are teasing a girl, the TV fellow takes a movie, others walk away, they don't bother about it, and it comes on the TV. What a criminal act it is. In the Kautilyan days, as per Kautilyan Arthashastra, for not following a civil code or dharma is penalized. So much penalized, the penalties are very heavy. In the taxation structure, the major income for the government is from penalties. That's why dharma was there in those days. For not following everywhere the code, for not following even the accounting code was so detailed. For not following a code, your penalties are heavy. So major revenue is not from taxation, major revenue is from penalties for not following the right code. That is the reason why we had dharma for so many thousands of years live in India. So before I go to the real structure of our economics and budgeting and economics and finance in the Kautilya, first I would like to start with what is the structure what they had. Unless you understand the social life and structure, you can't appreciate the taxation structure. The first and foremost is agriculture. You will be surprised to know there is a chief controller for barren lands. His job is to ensure how to bring barren lands into fertile lands. Going into minor irrigation, a lot of focus on minor irrigation, and you have check dams, and canals, the desilting of canals, canal transport, a lot of importance was given. So you have and types of crops being millets, beans, pulses, paddy was there, and wheat was there, sugarcane was there. They're the crops which are prevalent in those days. So 350 BC, I'm talking about 350 BC. And private parties were encouraged to develop check dams. They were allowed to the PPP mode of working was there even in Kautilya days. It's not the greatness of the Western model or World Bank model. The PPP was there. And the amount he has to collect was also mentioned. The amount he collected is for giving water by these fellows is, by private partners is 10% of the produce which comes out of the water supplied to the farms. and from the 10% he has to pay 50% to the government. So that's how everywhere the taxation was linked to the output produced, and from there a part goes to the government and part goes to the PPP, well, the check dam or whatever it is. And government defined, well-defined areas where what type of crops have to come. And government has also defined, you'll be surprised to know that soil testing was there, and they used to give guidance to the farmers what is to be produced. This is what existed in agriculture. Unless you understand the type of structures you had, industry, copper was very common there, steel was there, textile industry was there, handlooms, and women are employed, and women are given special incentives, extra pay than men in those days. Today, we talk of women empowerment, and we don't pay extra for that. They believe that women suffer, physically they are weak, so they are given extra wages, and they were given extra leave. And very important is, goods cannot be sold. Goods can be transferred to credit centers. The marketing yards were given. Only goods can be sold in the marketing yards. That was the system prevalent there. And tax exemptions were given for certain goods, which are of essential nature. Of course, I'll go into taxation later. What type of taxation structures are there? And strong security systems were there for transportation. You know, those days transportation was by the bullock carts and the horse-driven carts. So the system was there, and input-output ratios were given. The peculiar part of the economy in those days is industry. For all the major industry, input-output ratios were given. The payment to the workers used to go with the input-output. For example, jewelry. They used to give how much input, how much output has to come. So input-output ratio is not new now. It is there in those days. The taxation and wages used to be paid piece rate when they take back how much output has come based on which used to pay. And one more surprising to me is backfilling norms are there for mines. Today mines, the people mine them and they leave them out. In those days norms are there that once you mine a mine, when you remove the mine, you have to backfill it and rehabilitation of the mine. The norms are given for, so our mines cost accounting standard is coming. I think if you can take a stanza from Kautilya and write it, will be more appropriate. So that even in those days backfilling norms were there. So much environment was given importance. And coming, I think I have mentioned copper, iron ore, lead, silver, gold, tin, and these are the metals which are the industries which are prevalent. And they used to make carts, they used to make what you call, for warfare equipment they used to make. So all these were prevalent there. And CSR was encouraged. For all the beyond the limit income people, the people have to spend for CSR. The CSR, it was mentioned, basically for maintenance of canals and ponds. The CSR, the people were encouraged, private, the industry was encouraged to spend. Coming to administration. The greatness of administration is defined structures, how a village should be there. Wherever a boundary of a natural boundary of a hill or a water canal is there, you can define a village. He says, how a village, what are the requirements of forming a village. If those requirements are not met, he says the habitations have to move to a place where such requirements are there. So that he never encouraged in those days habitations where no facilities are there. So basic village requirements, and 10 villages is called one sub-district, 20 sub-districts, one district, 20 districts, one division, and 20 divisions for regional headquarters, then comes the state level, then comes the central level. This is how the administration, the division of the country is divided. And well-defined administrative structures, service rules were there for all the employees, and how to prepare a GO is stated. Very great thing, when you get a shock is how a government farmer and what basis he has to prepare, who has to prepare it, what language to be used. He said no ambiguity in the language, no typing mistake should be there. no writing mistakes. All these things were well defined. And do's and don'ts for kings, do's and don'ts for officials. Do's and don'ts are very, very strong. You go to the Kautilya, I know you have Sanskrit Sansthan in Delhi, the book is available. I think some Kangale book is there in Sanskrit to Hindi translation. You will get a shock that 50% of the book is nothing but do's and don'ts and penalties and rates, and penalty rates were not following do's and don'ts. So much of governance is given importance, so that the whole structures they maintain. And of course, I can't go on telling the positions. I can't believe there's so many hierarchical positions were defined. Your chief controller of mines, chief controller of metals. I mean, for every function, controllers were there. And a typical Aadhaar type card is there. It is called passport, identity card for every citizen. So if anybody is not having it, that means he's a foreigner. And foreigner is penalized. Foreigner is given a visa, and every day a foreigner there is 20 panas. 20 panas must be in those days some paisas or something like that. So I'll read out what are the coins available in those days, but a different, by different names are there. But still I'll read out for your information. And 20 panas a visa has to be taken. The person who is taken the visa has to report in every thana. Wherever village is there, he has to report to Thana in the evening before sunset. The whole timings, the day is divided based on the shadow of a person. The whole day is divided into 8 2.5 hours. So 4 2.5 hours is in the morning, based on the shadow. 1/4 shadow, half shadow, 3/4 shadow, full shadow. That's a time division, based on which the do's and don'ts were given for all the employees. When he has to take lunch means there is also time given. So when it goes to the half shadow, he has to take half an hour break or something like that for lunch. So that's how the whole shadow based timing was there in the day. And this in case of in case of a foreigner, I have told, but if he doesn't report, again the list is prepared and police are given the list which missing, foreigners, and strong traffic rules were there. You will be surprised to know there are only 2 types of vehicles on the road: bullock carts and the horse-driven cars. Which side they should stop? The special parking areas were given where they can stop. They can't stop on the main road. All the rules were there. And fire safety measures were very prevalent. In every village, a small pit was, dug for keeping storing water. And if any fire comes, alarm is given and everybody has to run and take the water and douse it. So that's how the fire safety measures were there. Coming to legal system. The legal system, you will be surprised to know that 3-type legal system is there: village level, sub-district level, and regional level. District level is not there, though the administration is there. And qualifications for legal officers, judges, chancellors. A chancellor is head of legal. The legal head is called chancellor. At a 3-type hierarchy. And do's and don'ts for judicial officers. What type of questions can be asked for accused? Within 3 days. Within 3 days, if you don't file charge sheet, he is acquitted. So rule is given in today. I don't know how many days they are taking charge sheet. 90 days, I think. The time given in those days for investigation is 72 hours. And a detainee, how to behave with a detainee, well defined. In the 3 days before punishment, you can't ill-treat a detainee. That's so on a charge of, on accused. Still he is accused, but he is not, finally guilty. See, that's how the rules were there, and there are different types of acts. You will be surprised to know what type of. Generally, the judgments are based on dharma. Dharma means what he explains in scriptures. The scriptures, whatever dharma is there, that is the basic document for giving legal judgments. Second is established practices. The third, where he says king can promulgate law when there is a confusion between dharma and practice. So the law, existing laws were Bailment Act, Law of Contract, Labor Law, Partnership Act, Anti-Defamation Act. I don't know anti-defamation. In those days, the people must be blaming each other. The Anti-Defamation Act was there, which is surprising to me. Bailment Act, of course, you know, you don't have a choice. The transporters will be giving goods and all that. Contract, partnership, bailment. So this is the type of legal structure that was existing. Then is foreign affairs. No, I believe in the foreign affairs after Indira Gandhi, I don't know about Nehru time, but after Indira Gandhi, we have never had such a strong foreign affairs. Maybe to some extent people are still trying to do it. Now Modi ji is doing. Last 10 years, if you see, what China has done is totally, strictly as per Kautilya. Simply Kautilya. He has attacked India. He has made every neighbor of India into a friend of China. This is what Kautilya says. If you see what China has done, last year I was in Lanka for some CMA convention, Lankan CMA convention, before last year I think. Then I am surprised when I go out, the beautiful, bigger than Vignan Bhavan, the beautiful convention hall is. I asked the people, what is this convention hall? The China has donated the convention hall to them. And China has taken, public PPP partnership, the main road to Jaffna, one third of or 1/4 of the cost. The way, and they have also taken the port of Sri Lanka for a song, for putting very high, royalty to the government. See, if such type of things that China has done, China has cornered every part of India, exactly Kautilya says. If a strong neighbor is there, you must do like that. But unfortunately, we could not counter it. Today, Modi ji is doing the same thing. How can I'm not praising anybody here? I'm talking objectively. What he is doing is, China is putting pressure on Pakistan now to take action on the people. That's exactly by developing the friends with the surrounding people, you have to develop Mitra Bhedam, which is called, which is in practice, suggested. And other important point he says is, the negotiation techniques of a foreign treaty, what is to be there in the foreign treaty is well defined. And he says foreign treaties have to be used as a weapon or a tool for getting benefit as a negotiation technique, And you will appreciate when I talk about trade, foreign trade, then you will appreciate how foreign treaties have to be used, what are things to go into foreign treaty and how to protect the national interest. He very well defines it. Even today, the Commerce Ministry of Goel I think Mr. Monson has worked for some time. It gives a list of, whenever they go out to the other countries, they take a list of, what we require from the country and what we can offer to the country. So very clearly, what we require, what we offer, all this is defined by Kautilya. In a foreign treaty, what is to be discussed, what is not to be discussed, what is not to be discussed also is given there, and what are do's and don'ts for ambassadors, and how he has to be treated, and what type of person to be chosen by the ambassador. All these things were well defined. And then comes, the defense. Before going to economics, I'll give only 2-3 minutes for defense and geography. Defense, there are 6 strategies, he says. Okay, I don't want to give strategies since I'll give the names only. Sandhi, Vigraha, Asana, Yasa, Yana, like that, all Sanskrit words are there. 6 strategies, how to, take action, when to take action, when to fight war, when not to fight war, what are the war preparations. You have all backup material, food movement, medical, all these things, in those days wars are basically, Aswadana and Aswa means horse, and you have elephant. So basically, veterinary doctors, a lot of veterinary doctors, what are medical treatments. So the whole backup structure for a war, how to prepare it, and what types of, formations. The amount of treatise he writes on war is, every subject is, very deep. He goes and writes on it. And then in geography, of course, all route maps, contour maps, how to prepare a contour map, they're all given there. And complete study of resources, natural resources, water resources, in every place, what are types of resources you have, and all these things were given there. And last but not the least, before I get into economics and taxation structures, HR. He believes he wrote very clearly that ethical values are to be form basic bone of HR education. Human resource development and universities should be based on ethical values. And the type of courses offered, the history, dharma, artha, that is economics, Puranas, during night time, during daytime martial arts and horse ride and elephant ride. They were taught in universities. And defense, medicine, animal husbandry, and very much importance was given. Science, commerce, and accounts. These were the subjects in those days. Generally, everybody taught all subjects. It's not like today we have BSc chemistry or BSc biology. In those days, every subject is taught to everyone. But on the defense side, more importance was given to the kings and children of kings and their rulers on the defense side. That's how the structure was there. And the universities are, Vikramashila University is there, and institute is there in North India. Takshashila has gone to Pakistan. In fact, Kautilya is from Takshashila University, and he went back to Takshashila. Nalanda is still there. The three universities were very popular in those days. And now I'll come to the subject of economics and banking. Economic surveys were regularly done. The economic surveys used to be done from Guru Parava to Guru Parava in your language. I think you celebrate Guru Parava in Maharashtra, I think we celebrate Diwali in South. So the economic surveys and budget is prepared from Guru Parava to Guru Parava. And the projections are made based on astrological predictions. Financial projections, they used to see last year projections, then actuals, and next year projections are made based on astrological predictions about what type of rainfall will be there, what are the types of when the cyclones will come. Like that, they used to predict based on astrology. And accrual accounting is followed. It is a, sir, please believe me, you go to Kautilya to see what accounts manual should look like. It talks what are lines, registers, forms of registers, heads. I mean, they may not be relevant today, but the principles are relevant today. The accounts manual should have what accounts manual should have. And it talks what type of transactions should be taken and how the accrual entry has to be passed. So accrual accounting is the basis for the accounting concept, and it is the current income, the Badali income. The accrual income is called Badali income and Badali expenditure. That means expenditure which is opening balance, cash, and which is going to be recovered. That's called Badali income, which is coming Badali. And this Badali income is used there in the book. Badali, the word is used. And currency, you have below Anna copper coins, and above Anna, maybe Anna we can take as 1 paisa. I mean 6 paisa is Anna. Till our childhood, though Annas were there. I have seen copper Annas. But in those days, Anna were there. Kani, Kara, Mashka, these are the words given for coins. And below 6 paisa coin was used copper, and above 6 paisa silver coins were used. And very important is how to pass bills. How to pass bills, what to be kept as supporting vouchers. Daily, evening, the tin has to be closed till the auditor comes and verifies the tin where cash is collected. So cash book and cash scroll is daily closed. By evening, you have to seal it and close it. Next day or till next day, whenever the auditor comes, it is there, and do's and don'ts for accountants are given, do's and don'ts for auditors are given. He says the auditor cannot have the hospitality of auditing, he says. Today we can't avoid it. So he says you can't have hospitality of auditing. And then he talks about this monthly reviews. Monthly reviews at each level have to take place. That means what is the shortfall of the budget, why is the shortfall, and you have to give an action plan how to make up for the shortfall. And finally, during the month end, of course the month beginning and month end are not these calendar months of January, February. They have their own Kartika, Ashwina, all these Indian months. And before last week of the end, he talks, 5 days before Amavasya, he talks Ekadasi or something like that. By the time, 5 days before the month end, it has to go to the king level with action plan, what is the shortfall, how the cash is there and all that. This is the type of budgetary review system was existing in those days. Is it not shocking, my dear? Yes. Unbelievable. When I was reading this, it is really shocking, the amount of control they had. And I think I have dwelt much. Then I'll get into taxation structure. The principles of tax, he says, like the butterfly takes, makaranda from a flower. That should be the principle of taxation. In fact, our Pranab Mukherjee, Pranab has quoted this in his budget speech sometime back, but he has not followed it. So we were talking, the taxation should be painless. He is quoted to talking, Pranab in his speech, finance budget speech. So, see, Kautilya is quoted by everybody at some point of time. Whoever is there in the administration, you can't leave him. Since he has put so much imprint on every subject, you have to quote. Today, as cost accountant, we also have to quote him. I'm telling you at the end that how we quote them. We have to go and tell the government, what Kautilya told on costing. See, the tax governance and expenditure governance should be so transparent so that the voluntary tax compliance is there. He writes a basic principle there for a voluntary tax compliance, for avoiding tax evasion. The governance should be transparent, and he goes for outcome audit. How many times we have done outcome audit in India? I tell you, when I introduced outcome audit when Chandrababu's first time, social audit for the outcome, see, it was dismantled the moment Chandrababu left the government. Of course, sorry, I'm quoting him. Right now I am a fiscal management committee member, just a week back I was appointed again. Now I'm appointed as advisor to the CM and the Chief Secretary cadre, just as you as from yesterday. So point is, since I am working closely with him, November I quote, please excuse me. So when I did the outcome audit, it was removed. The social audit and the outcome audit was removed immediately when the next government came. So very difficult to get transparency delivery mechanism, quality of the work for what the government pays. So he talks about it. And he believes treasury should be always be full for ensuring sovereignty of the government. He says when your treasury becomes weak, the sovereignty of the government is at stake. A very important principle. Wherever weak economies are there, they are vulnerable. So he says your economy should be, your country, for sovereignty of the country, your treasury should be strong. It should not be weak. If you go on talking on taxation structure, you require, sir, half a day session on taxation structure. Just for the sake of, giving some flavor, I'll put some taxes. Sulka, customs tax, Prevesia, import duty, Nishkarya, export duty, Dwarabhi is, octroi and toll tax, Vyaji is sales tax, Bhaga, excise duty, Vattani, road cess, Pariha, monopoly. See, monopoly prevention tax was there, Pariha it is called. If somebody monopolizes a product or an activity, monopoly prevention tax was there. And Sena Vettam, special cess, during defense war times it's collected. Then you have major taxes penalties. The amount of penalties, in every chapter of Kautilya, you have half page of penalties. For not doing this, what is the penalty? For not doing this, what is the penalty? For violating this, what is the penalty? Penalties are defined and they are collected. See, maximum tax rate is 16%, minimum tax rate is 4%. On essentials, 4% tax rate was collected. As the luxury items, 16% was collected. And maximum import duty is 20%. Today, whatever your, WTO especially bound rate was there during Kautilya days. He always said taxation structure should be used for furtherance of economy and protecting the economy. So taxation structure should be dynamic. It should be used for the protecting economy, not for filling the coffers. For protecting economy, for growing economy, taxation structure should be used, and VAT was there. You must give VAT to Kautilya for ensuring VAT in those days. Today, we could not, even today, we could not succeed in introducing our GST bill is pending. In those days, VAT is there. Any tax paid is finally given exemption from the further tax if you paying. The earlier tax paid is given exemption. It's a common sense. It was there 350 BC. We could not introduce till today. This is a damage done by great Lord Macaulay. Till 1800, 1700, our GDP, many of you may not be knowing, or you may be knowing, we were number 1 in GDP. We were competing with China, 1 and 2, till 1800. Till 1600, 1700, 1 in GDP. For information, when we got independence, do you know rupee parity, rupee dollar? Just reverse of what is happening. In the 60 years, the rupee got so much devalued. So this is, in fact, the greatest damage under British rule is the destroyed our economy. All good practices, academic practices, ethical business, all the things that they destroyed it. And if I'm hurting somebody, sorry for this. And the taxation structure was used for stabilization of prices. The import-exports, they are so strong controls on import-exports. Every import is, he believed that every the neighbors will dump poor quality imports for spoiling your economy. That's what he believed. Today, what China is doing. He says every import has to be quality tested. It is quarantined and tested. So we will take it to India or his country. So only quality imports were allowed to be imported. That was today we are best up economy. All other countries are doing this. Kautilya is followed by Europe. Kautilya is followed by USA. They don't allow you any product to be imported without quality testing. We allow every damn poorest quality product also to come in. You know what is the Chinese imports? What amount of Chinese bad quality imports are affecting our electronics? Everywhere, food, you know what a trash they are importing. We are importing from China. Other day I went and purchased in the airport, the cashew packet, imported from China. There is no cashews inside. Outside cashew and almonds are there, inside, only groundnut is there. And with one piece of cashew and one piece of almond, our balance is cash. What can imports? So this is how. We have destroyed we are not following the content of the Shastra. And this is where the impact of, you will see the Kautilya which we feel now we missed it. And banking and finance, you will get a shock. Real shock. When I read it, I got a shock. The maximum rate of interest is kept as 15%. And the intermediation cost as 2%. It is very prevalent in those days, lending. So whatever you collect deposit, the margin should be 2%. For example, you are collecting 2% deposit, 11% interest, you can lend back to it 13%. Where is it today? The banks are charging anywhere 3.5%, 4.5%. NIM is so high. So that is the banking there. And costing. Coming to costing, very clearly mentioned, a manufacturer can take a margin of 5% and a trader further can take a margin of 5% on the cost of production. So, in the case of imports, the margin was allowed by the trader to trader is 10%. So, that is how the structure is. So, basically, what he says, there is a system, regulatory mechanism where the people will go and verify what is the cost of production. So basing only on the cost, the prices were fixed. This is the costing system prevalent there. So broadly, if you see the Kautilyan economy, very strong economy and finance principles, ethical based accounting, HR training, and do's and don'ts for every walk of life, and penalties for violating do's and don'ts. This is the structure they had. Finally, you may ask, Murthigan, what are the takeaways now? You have explained so much, this was the prevalent in those days. What is the takeaways for us? The takeaways for us today are, you have to introduce immediately the penalty system for not doing the right thing. If my brother is, somebody is falling there, you are supposed to help him to, support him to bring it up, If some accident takes place, you have to save the life. The basic human dues. If you don't follow dues, there is no taxation now. If you want penalty now, only if you do criminal act, so positive act should come into criminal procedure code. Then thorough quality check of imports is very much important. All the imports should be like US importers, they come here, they certify the companies here for, quality GMP and USFDA and all. Like that, we must insist the imports quality. Second takeaway. The third takeaway is protecting local economy and employment, within the WTO norms. We go beyond WTO norms and we accommodate so much. I don't know to what extent effectively anti-dumping is going on. So I think we have to strengthen that area to protect and focusing more on minor irrigation, water harvesting check dams. Everywhere you are drought. Maharashtra got so much of drought in Nagpur area and other areas. Where is our, the type of effort is going on? Check dams, I don't know how much budget is giving us check dams and managed irrigation. Water harvesting, I don't know what amount of effort Maharashtra government is doing here. But that's very important. So the other takeaway and judicial reform. Yes, to take the Constitution book and implement judicial reform. That's sufficient. You don't require any other details for implementing judicial reforms in India. The amount of cases pending, the delay in investigation, the whole mess is created that can be addressed. And those are do's and don'ts of different levels in public life. In public servants and independent professionals, the independent professional do's and don'ts so nicely given in Kautilya. And why we are not having do's and don'ts? Where are the do's and don'ts for doctors? How they to follow? Do's and don'ts for valuers? Whole banking system is facing problem with NPS. Where are the do's and don'ts for valuers? We don't have Institute of Valuers in the society. It's not active. For your information, as a director of LIC also, we complained to India and the government to bring an act for Institute of Valuers. There is no ethical action on the wrong valuations given in NPS paid in the banking system. Now the banking system is suffering due to poor valuation reports. And then bring in transparency in government expenditure and outcome audit, other takeaway for the government, and more penalties. Enforcement of law and penal system should be stronger. Of course, that to some extent has been done in Companies Act. In other acts, there is nothing much. Even if we try to do, it is misused for different purpose than for genuine purpose. This is the drawback. So these are the takeaways from what we can do right now. Implement cues from the public administration. So thank you very much, Ashokji. This is a whole gamut. Whatever I have covered is only like a towel with test karne. Like that I have covered it. You have to have a flavor. Go to every chapter and read it. You will be surprised and amazed and you will love your country where we are. Finally, I will only say, Eon righteously, dharmartha kama moksha. What to go in the righteous path as professionals. Sometimes initially, I see a lot of extras also here. We have to have a lot of pain in building a profession. We will not get much of income, but at that point of time, we have to uphold values. We should get prepared. Once we get into some rolling stone, then there is no problem. If you start rolling, you have lots of problems. So we have patience, build up, keep values, uphold values. Dharmo, rakshita rakshitaha, righteousness, protect righteousness. I am in public life for the last 25 years. With a lot of pulls and pressures, conflict management, I am trying to do it with the best. God is kind enough. So they can take away at the end for all the professionals. Thank you very much. Organizers for calling me here, giving me opportunity. And of course, I thank God for allowing me to come here. Maybe I should have a running 101 fever, but somehow I could come now. Thank you very much.